At the recent Republican Frank and Beans dinner that they have every year, well, during the dinner, Steve Shine, the head of the Republican Party, got up on the stage, or the dais, and said, anybody who's running in 2026 better step up here on the stage right now and declare the fact that you're running. Everybody looked around each other and see what was going on, and one gentleman got up and walked and stood up to the stage and on the stage, and he declared publicly, I am running in 2026. And a lot of people were stunned, frankly, to tell you the truth, and some, were not stunned. But here's the big news. Former Allen County Sheriff Ken Freeze, who's now a county councilman, said, hey, I'm coming back to sheriff. That's right, Ken Freeze has announced that he is going to return to the position of sheriff, if elected, in 2026. Now, let me explain something to you. Yes, Ken Freeze was, in fact, the sheriff, 2006, 2014. Here, the Indiana Constitution says you can only be a sheriff in that office, because it's a very powerful office, for 8 years. And he did. But obviously, he left at 2014. But you can be in the sheriff's office or in an elected position like that. Well, it has to happen inside a 12-year period. So after 12 years period, it's been up, well, you can run again. And technically, that's exactly what Ken Freeze is doing. Now, Ken Freeze, when he ran for the county council, he had more votes than anybody running for county council. He had 75,515 votes. That's over 20% of all the votes. I think they had 6 people running. He's very popular, folks. Don't kid yourself. He's very popular. And, well, he's on county council and now is running for sheriff. Now, I knew he was running for sheriff because I ran into him and his lovely bride at a restaurant with my wife when I were going out for dinner. And I asked him about that. I said, hey, you're going to get back in the sheriff's race? And he said to me, not without my wife's okay. Now, that's a family man. He said, yeah, we're going on vacation. We're going to talk about it and see if she thinks I should run for sheriff again. Now, why do I think Kenny Freeze will be a good sheriff? Well, a couple of things. One, whatever he had any of his deputies do, he did. Physically, he was out there running with them every time they had a run. When they were running, he was leading the pack. He was also on the SWAT team. Yep, that takes a lot of extra effort, time, and frankly, physical fitness to be on the SWAT team. He was on the Allen County SWAT team. Now, here's another thing. Ken believes in bringing back the student cadet program, which I think was a very successful program, and the Citizens Academy. Now, I can tell you, Fort Wayne Police Department recently started up their Citizens Academy once again. It was the 16th. They hadn't had it in a number of years. Well, Ken Freeze wants to bring back the Citizens Academy to the Sheriff's Department. And if you've never been to one of those academies, you are missing out big time because you're going to learn things you didn't know. And he wants to bring that back. So, Ken Freeze, former sheriff, 2006, 2014, has dropped his hat back into the ring, saying in 2026, he is running once again for sheriff. And in my opinion, he's one of the most popular elected officials, especially in law enforcement in this town, and is now on the county council where he got more votes than anybody else. That's what you say when you got a class act going on. And I believe Ken Freeze, in my humble opinion, is truly a class act and will be a great sheriff if re-elected.